Hello and welcome to another episode of the Chai Tea Podcast. I'm Arcena and joining me as always is my co-host Sam, also known as Time to Feel Alive.
Well, that's me. How are we doing today, Arcena?
Yeah, doing all right. Another week of Pocket has gone by. Has been, mixed results. But yeah,
Yeah, bit of a mixed bag. It is like kind of that slower week now. Like the last week and the week coming, kind of lose a bit of the bit of the flavor of the latest set.
yeah,
Um, but I've got my cup of tea here with me, keeping me nice and warm, as is the name of the podcast,
yeah,
ready to go.
yeah.
I guess we'll just jump in as usual and talk about how our collection's been going because that's how we roll. Mine has not been going well for this set.
Yeah, I like to preface this by saying that when we talk about our collections not going well, we generally focus, as mentioned, on playable EXs and the like. Nothing to
hmm
do with the fancy art. Sam could have like 25 fancy arts and one EX, and he will be saying his collection is going badly. Just putting it out there again. I know we say it every time, but that's what we mean.
Yeah, no, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
I could have all of the old arts of everything, but if I didn't have playable sets, I would be kind of annoyed. But to be fair, in this case, in general, my collection is not going well. Like I mean, I've got playable EXs, but then I've also just not collected anywhere near as much of the set as I'd like. um,
What's currently, I think I know how many I'm missing. How many are you missing from the main set?
Let's have a quick look. I'm at 138 out of 161, which isn't bad, but I mean, and at this point in the month of this set, I would like to be a bit higher than that.
Wait, that is about what, 20 odd cards missing, right?
Yeah,
And I assume most from Lugia because of the way you've been going about it.
yeah, I'd been mainly picking from Ho-Oh, so I've just moved over to mainly picking from Lugia now, so I can get the cards that I'm missing. And to be fair, like one of the cards that I'm missing that I really want is an elemental switch to use in my Zeraora or probably going to be a Pichu deck eventually with Silvally.
Do you not even
And
have one?
no elemental switches at all.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. That's your elemental switch is my silver.
I even
Yeah.
had a sneak peek today, which had Kingdra and Elemental Switch in it, and I went for it. Didn't get either of them. Got something I already had, Heatmore or something. And afterwards, I was just like, you know what? There was like 3 Elemental Switches that were 1 stamina. I think I should have just done that and tried to get one of those because I don't really care about getting Kingdra. Like I'll get that eventually,
Yeah.
but it's just not a very playable card.
No, it's not. I don't think it's. I don't even think. I think the new horsey is different from the old horsey, and I don't think that's even made it any better.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of improved it because you snipe the bench with the new horsey, the promo horsey, and then you could Cyrus them in and then lock them in with the Kingdra as long as they don't have like something that can get it out, which most decks do run. So yeah, it's a little bit better, but it's still not a great card.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, your element that I have spoken. I don't know if you spoke about it last week, but silver has still been dodging me. It's just I'm at 149 and 161, so I'm a bit better. But out of my 11 cards, I think 10 of them are 3 diamonds. So it's rough. It's gonna take a while before I finish. Or no, I think might be I'm missing 11 or 12, and I'm missing 12. Sorry, 149 is 12. 10 of them are 3 diamonds, and then there's a 1 diamond and 2 diamond missing there somewhere. That I'm not saying I'm confident I'll pack it before the new set comes out, but even if I don't, it's a free trade. So and I'm sure somebody like how you have 7 fan P, right?
Yep.
Not too bothered about finishing that. It's just that I said it before and I'll say it again. Uh, 3 diamonds are the real hard to get cards because they are a lot more than the EXs, and we prioritize wonder picking for EXs than we do for the 3 diamonds, right?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, so they are the chase cards of the sets.
Yeah, for a completion, for like getting the silver Pokedex, I think is what we call them now, right? For the
Which is
cards.
confusing considering we have a card called Silver now.
Yeah.
Um, I think Silver and Lyra are probably like the 2 supporters from this set that are like the most usable, let's say. I wouldn't say they're meta changing because like you can play decks without them still, but silver is very handy to have in most decks, and Lyra is really usable in quite a few like niche decks.
Yeah, especially I know you don't. I know we're not gonna like dwell on this, and you know I bring it up a lot. It's made Dragonite quite because you don't need to waste energy on your Dragonite, and you don't
Yeah.
waste the retreat. So you Lyra the Dragonite and put in a baby, right? Because the baby is free retreat, and then you bring the Dragonite back. So that way,
And you can hit again.
and because you can use two Lyras, right, as opposed to, you know how the fossil tech would make you attack, I think, twice or something? Like the fossil tech is unreliable, right? Whereas the Lyra tech, your Dragonite's most probably going to be damaged. So you can attack 180, Lyra it back out, bring it back out, attack again 180, and then hopefully you still have enough to Lyra again and do it. And then, because most decks, especially Silvally, uh, you need 3 points now as opposed to just two KOs. So Lyra makes. I guess with the fossil you could still retreat it twice, but I don't know why Lyra just makes that deck so much better.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like at this point we kind of need like a sound effect or something for when we're talking about Dragonite. It's like, oh, it's Dragonite hour or something. I don't know. But no, I didn't realize when the set came out how much Dragonite was getting buffed with that Lyra card. Like
And
getting a
elemental
Lyra
switch,
out
right?
into, yeah, Elemental Switch, Lyra, the baby's powering it up. It's just. It's very strong. To be fair, though, I haven't actually seen it running around that much
I haven't
in my
either,
meta.
and I haven't been able to use it because for two reasons. One, I wouldn't have done the same thing again as last season because of how poorly it went and how much of a struggle it was. And also, I need that deck needs two Lyra to work. In my opinion, at least, two Lyra and two Elemental Switch to work, and I only have unfortunately just one of each. So
Rip.
yeah, so I haven't been able to make that work in Master Ball. I would love to, but it was a like the sneak peek didn't help either. But we weren't going for those in sneak peek. But yeah,
I feel like this happens to us every season. There's like one or two cards that we're like kind of excited to use, and it just takes ages to pull them. So we have to keep using old decks to actually just play ranked.
yeah, and I think uh, earlier with the last two sets, because of course recency bias and all that, the last two sets have been mini sets. So eventually, like, there's not much. It doesn't make sense because a mini set is basically the same as a main set, right? Because a main set, although it has more cards, it divides it into two separate packs, right? So a mini set gets completed quicker, whereas main set does it because I guess you have to split your time between two sets, so you're only opening half the amount that you would in a mini set. Even though each pack contains the same amount of cards, you're splitting your resources across two packs as opposed to just investing in a singular pack, which is why a mini set always gets completed within, like, I think the last time, a week, 10 days, I was pretty much done with the mini set.
Yep.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the reason, because even though it's the same amount of cards, you can just open a mini set consistently. Like if you have opened 50 packs, you've opened 50 packs of that. Whereas in a double set, on average, you open 50 packs, it's probably 25, unless you prioritize a certain pack like you did, right?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't at first. When I was opening my 10 bombs, I was just opening 10 Ho-Oh, 10 Lugia. But then once I'd used all of my hourglasses, I just started mainly going for Ho-Oh to get all of the usable EXs, or the ones that I viewed as usable. And now I've switched back to mainly opening Lugia just to try and get a elemental switch or a second Espeon to try out that deck, which looks pretty strong in the meta. I've struggled against it a few times.
It's slowly losing a little bit of its. You're talking about Espeon Sylveon, right?
Yeah.
It is slowly losing its power, I guess, because it doesn't do well against a mirror if it goes second. Obviously, I'm not saying it's not winnable because sometimes your opponent could start second, get a great hand, play badly, whatever. But I'm saying in general, if you were having the worst ever luck, it generally kind of doesn't perform well going first. And the new deck that's running around is Darkrai Silvally, and also I've seen Darkrai Ho-Ho Snorlax EX. All of that together just doesn't help Espeon, especially because half the time with the Espeon deck, and statistically, you'll be going first, and it does not like to go first.
Yeah, I mean, any deck that's not running babies kind of doesn't really like going first, unless you've got something that has an ability that benefits from the first turn, like
Uh,
Zeraora or something.
I mean, Giratina Darkrai, I mean, your favorite deck.
Oh yeah, true,
Uh,
true, true. Yeah,
I
you get
think
well.
that
That's
deck
got an
likes
ability that
going.
benefits from going from the first turn, which is literally what I just said.
Oh, yeah, ability. Okay, fine, fine, fine. It just,
um,
I completely forget that Giratina is so good because of his ability. I just think it's a card that generates energy on its own, because that's how, like, you associate Giratina with drawing energy on the first turn, completely forgetting the ability is what does it for it.
yeah, yeah. No, it's super strong. Giratina is never going away. It fits into so many like random decks as well. Like it can just be put into anything because it can power itself. Um, but before we get into the meta, though, before we dive really deep into that, we should probably talk about sneak peek because something
Ugh.
you were saying before, recency bias with like old sets and recent sets and the mini sets. Like we'd finished our set for Edie Grove within like a week, maybe a week and a half, right?
Yeah, and if we're
And that
missing
was
one or two, we were going to get it
yeah,
eventually from an event, right?
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And sneak peek was a massive factor in that you being super quick. We had a really good month of sneak peek. Well, a week of sneak peek last month, getting the EXs we wanted, getting the picks, and it was going really well. And we were talking sneak peek up big. We were saying you need to save your hourglasses for this, and I still will because I obviously it's the most beneficial time to use them. But this month, sneak peek was tragic for me.
Yeah, you wanna divulge your numbers?
Did I get? I think I got two out of like I don't know. It must have been like 15 picks that I tried, and it just oh man, well maybe even like more like 20, and it should be like four, right? I should have at least got four things.
You probably got more
In fact,
because sneak peek gives you better
yeah,
chances.
it should have been about five if I did about 20 picks, and
Yeah.
oh man, I just couldn't get anything. Nothing was going my way. The last thing I oh, and the two cards that I got. So I got a Donphan EX and I got a who was the other one? Crobat EX. Literally the next day after I got the sneak peeks for both of those, I got another one. So I had three. So it was completely pointless even doing those two sneak peeks. It was so painful.
Yeah, it was. I think for me, I ended up using up quite a bit. My luck, I think, was probably um, around the same as yours, where I don't exactly remember how many I did, but I think at the end when we were calculating, I probably used about 300 to 350 hourglasses, and that's
Mm-hmm.
about
Oof.
anywhere from 10 to 15 sneak peeks depending on yeah, so 360 gives me 10 fresh 3 diamond or 4 diamond EX sneak peeks, but I reckon some of them I would have had like hourglasses stored up or whatever, some of them I didn't use the max 36 for each, right? So anywhere between
Yeah, because
10
you're
to
gonna have stamina on top of that as well.
yeah, so anywhere between 10 to 15. And I think I picked the Crobat. I picked the Dawn Fan. I didn't need Ho-Ho, Umbreon, or Skarmory. And then I picked a Lugia, I picked a Kingdra, I picked a Shuckle. Didn't get Espeon. I'm missing one EX from Lugia. I can't remember what that last EX is. Uh, but I think that's what four I picked out of the 10 EXs. I wasn't going for the doubles. You were going for the doubles, weren't you?
Yeah, I mean yours. Well, that's not too bad.
Yeah,
It's not great
it's
compared to what
not
it was last
great,
month.
but it's not horrible. I did go for the reason I have more is because I think I went for more. So like
Yeah.
in that scenario, it seems better, but I don't think it is, right?
I think what I've realized from this sneak peek event, I got um, fully punished for going at it the way I did. Last month I was going for cards that I didn't have to complete the collection, thinking that I'd get the second EXs eventually from packing. Whereas this month, because it was a double set, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try and get the playable sets So go for 2 of each card that I really wanted to play, rather than going for cards that I didn't really want or that I would trade for later, like Kingdra EX or Shuckle. But doing that, I picked this Crobat and I picked the Donphan, so I had 2 of each of those, and then the next day I pulled them anyway. So it was like I could have just used those hourglasses on Kingdra or Shuckle and finished my set instead. So yeah, it's next month I'm going to go back to the old way of just going for cards that I don't have rather than going for playable sets, because it's going to be a mini set anyway. So hopefully it'll be a mini set. I don't think I can handle another double
Yeah,
set
could you
after this one.
imagine? Not just 2, you get 3 packs this time.
Yeah, oh my days. Going back
Oh,
to freaking Genetic Apex, it would be
yeah,
like what, set B at that point.
yeah.
But yeah, a sneak peek was a struggle this month. That's for
It
sure.
was. I guess I ended up. I don't know what I wanted to pick. I think I got maybe a Lyra from it, or and then I didn't get any for the first first day or so. Then I got 5 or 6 in a day, and then I went quite crazy for Lugia EX as well, if you remember.
Yeah.
Ended up wasting, I think, on Lugia EX alone, maybe 120 to 150 hourglasses just on Lugia EX alone. Uh, and ended up wonder picking it the day after sneak peek was over.
Yeah.
uh,
It always happens.
yeah,
Always happens.
yeah. No, that sneak peek was.
I
I guess it helped in a way, but also I think I went about it in getting one of each EX. So as much as my set looks more complete, I still can't play many decks. The only deck I'm close to playing is maybe a Donphan deck that's not great. Silver has been dodging me, by the way. I'm well over 100 packs now of total, which would mean at least 50 something ho-ho packs. No silver.
Yeah. He doesn't exist, if you ask me. I don't think anyone that's pulled him so far is telling the truth, and it's not a real card.
Yeah, so your 700 silvers are not real either, right?
Yeah, exactly. I never use them. Well, actually, I do. That's a lie. I like it with red card, but um, for you, it doesn't exist.
Yeah, no, I can't believe how unlucky I've been with a 2 diamond card. There's always one 2 diamond card that avoids me every set. This time it chose to be silver, and silver seems to be playable. So like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
mm,
Yeah, I don't know how I was so naive coming into this set, thinking that I would just open a few 10 packs and then I would start saving my hourglasses again for the next set. But no, I'm literally using. I'm at like 2 hourglasses right now because I'm just, as soon as it goes to 12, I'm using it on an extra pack that day to try and pull more cards because I need to finish the set. It's got to be done.
yeah, it
But
has to be done.
obviously I'll do it with trading, but the sooner the better.
Yeah, I mean, Stardust is not gonna be there forever, right? You keep trading stuff.
Hmm.
First you need, like, I'm sure it's not difficult to find somebody who's pulled 5 of the same card that you couldn't pull. But at the same time, you need to waste resources. You need to find somebody willing to trade. You need to give them something that they need. Like, you'd rather pull it yourself. Trading makes it
Yeah,
easier, but like at all costs, you're like, if I can do it myself, I might as well do it myself.
yeah. Well, and like what? Let's say at the moment I've got like 20 something cards left. Let's just call it 20 right now. Um, that means that if I make sure I have 5 hourglasses, sorry, 5 stamina on the day that trading is available for this set, then I can do 5 cards that day. Then I have to do 15 more days without using the stamina hourglasses for trading um, to get the whole set completed, which is halfway through the next month that I would have this set finished, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Um, I don't want to have to do that, so I want to try and get as many cards done as possible before the next set comes out.
Yeah, no, yeah. When you put it like that, like, yeah, like, it's crazy. It takes you to, in order to get 30 cards, it takes you 25 days. That
Yeah.
should be
And
a
then on
better
top of that,
system.
you might want to get duplicates of those cards to try and have playable sets, so that's even longer, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So you need to pack one of each. Like, you have to open your packs because it's
Mm-hmm.
trading helps, but it's not sustainable or
No,
efficient rather.
efficient, yeah, that's the word for sure. And speaking of efficiency, your chat made you super efficient with one of the the sneak peeks you did.
I don't want to talk about it. Oh my
Yeah,
god,
you do.
that's like what, 4 stamina? Oh, it's like I think
You
I
got
think I spent 40 Wonder Hourglasses on that.
Woo.
I don't
You got
remember.
fully bullied into it. What was it? It was a 2-star Espeon pick, right?
Yeah, it was a rainbow one where
Mm-hmm.
um I didn't have a second Espeon at that point, right? And I was done playing ranked for the day because I was using an older deck, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um and I don't know how it came up. I like to look at my wonder. So how I go about it is every time I play a ranked session, if I win, I keep going, and then if I end up losing, I go and see if there's a wonder pick, and with sneak peek, uh, I time the timer every half an hour once. I try my best to wonder pick, and like you said, I was live and I was um checking the wonder picks. I saw that there was an Espeon, and everyone like, oh no, you have to pick it. How can you skip over it? And I had to use my hourglasses for it, and I had about, I think at that point, close to 400, maybe.
Damn.
Uh, and yeah, uh, it was. I picked it because, like you said, got bullied into it, right? Uh, and it took me about 20 minutes to decide picking it. At that time I sat and I was like messaging you at that point, like, I have it. And funnily enough, the moment you said you should go for it is the moment I clicked pick it. And that by that point it had been about 20 minutes of thinking, because it just, at that point I think I needed a lot more EXs to finish. So to waste 40 on a rainbow card that, the basic Espeon EX would have been easier or just better to get, right? It just took so much out of me to press pick.
To
And then
convince
when,
yourself to choose it.
sorry, what would you say?
To convince yourself to choose it, you have to
Yeah.
fully yeah.
Mm.
But there was a happy ending though.
Yeah, I got it.
You got it. You
Yeah,
got it. But then what happened the next day?
43 hourglasses I spent on that. I just went back to check.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was sneak peek. Said I wasn't getting it, picked again, and I got it. And it made me feel a little bit better if I was going to miss it, knowing that it was predetermined and I knew I couldn't mess up. That's kind
Mm-hmm.
of, so you know how we spoke about last time, where we like it better if sneak peek tells us that we're not getting it.
Yeah.
That wonder pick made me realize I am so happy that we finally. I'm not saying it finally was told to us, but we finally figured it out that wonder picks are predetermined. So going for that was a lot easier because I knew that the game already has decided if I'm going to get it or not. I wasn't
Yeah.
making the decision. So in that case, I fully believe having it predetermined was much better. But moving on from that, like you said, next day opened up my, I think, I don't know what Espeon's in Lugia, right? I reckon.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, I get one pack in the morning, one pack in the evening, right? So the morning pack I opened it, and I got a regular second Espeon.
Yeah. So there's your playable set. So technically didn't even need the rainbow Espeon. But I mean it's very nice for your collection.
Oh no, don't. I'm not
It's
gonna.
to be fair, it is a very pretty card.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say much about it because I know a lot of people like that card. So I'm not gonna diss it. It's a nice card. I am happy to have it. Would I have rather not picked it? Yes. Uh, but you know what? I would have 43 more hourglasses. That is another EX from the next set. You know? Uh,
Yeah. Yep. Well, here we are. You've made your bed. Now you've got to lie in it. And
hmm.
you were able to use it, right? You've been using it a little bit in the meta.
Yeah, I have. I think I played that deck quite a bit. And then until I went on a big losing streak. My deck is called I Have Rainbow Espeon. Just just that's what's the name of the deck.
Fully
Uh,
hammer home the flex.
yeah. Obviously, no one else can see it except for me. But every time
Yeah.
I play it, it's showing
Well,
everyone me
you're
that I
playing it
have
on
it.
stream, so other people definitely can see it.
But I meant like the people I'm trying to flex on, like my
I know, I know,
opponents,
yeah.
right?
True, true.
They have no idea what it's called. But yeah, I've had good success with it, but then I quickly realized that yes, it's a great deck, and when you have two Espeons set up, it's two Espeons set up plus the energy economy. By the way, it's very difficult for your opponent to take it down because you'll heal 30 with the active, retreat that Espeon, bring another Espeon out and heal another 30. So you're healing 60 a turn,
Yeah.
which is what people I think forgot that you could do with that because SP only has a one retreat cost, so
Hmm.
you can retreat into it, have a single energy left, and when you send it back out, it's ready to go again. So as long as you have two energy on your Espeon and you have two Espeons, you can heal 60 energy and 60 damage. And one thing I realized, it's not just psychic Pokemon; it's any Pokemon.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize that till quite late actually. I think a couple of days ago it offered me the option to heal a non-psychic Pokemon on my bench, and I was like, huh, I didn't. I mean, obviously it's always been there, but like that's brand new information.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Whenever I've come up against that deck, I feel like I really struggle with it once it gets the energy set up on the Espeons. Like if it's got one Espeon on the bench that's got one psychic energy, and then one in the active spot that's got two, then I just struggle because they can just swap to the bench, put another psychic energy on the other Espeon, heal up 60, and then just do the same next turn. It's like a free Lily, right?
yeah, and you can also PCL on the same turn if you run it, which
Yep.
the deck doesn't run it, but like it's a free 60 without playing any cards is the point. Like it's
I've had to start running a red in my my Buzzwole deck so that I can just OHKO the Espeons to stop them from healing up and switching around and things.
Yeah, it is a good deck, and it's performing really well. And I still think it's doing well, right? Don't get me wrong. I think it's still doing well. But also after playing with it for maybe a week, maybe more than that, don't really remember at this point. Maybe less than a week. I think I must have got it. I think I did have it last podcast episode, right? So probably a week
Hmm.
max. Um, yeah. So it struggles going first. That's the issue.
Yeah, yeah,
Like it's quite, like you said, it requires require to get your energy faster than your opponent does. So on a slow build up deck, for example, Giratina, obviously it's weak to dark, so that's not a good example. But on a deck that requires build up of energy, you will be able to out energy your opponent. And then, like you said, once you have an Espeon with four energy between them, or two Espeons with four energy between them, you're pretty much going to dictate the flow unless somehow your opponent is able to Dragonite burst for 180 or Lugia burst for 180. You pretty much dictate the
yeah,
flow of the game.
for sure. Like you've got to be OHKOing those things to get rid of them like most of the time. Um, no, it's a fun set. What else have you been using this meta?
Yeah, and then recently, because I think there was a day where I lost 60 points with Espeon over 3 hours, I was suggested to use a Darkrai Silvally Babies deck.
Yeah, yeah. How's that going?
It's running Tyrogue, by the way. Uh,
Yeah, I've seen that.
yeah, which at first I wasn't sold by. Like, why would I have another extra slot for a baby that can be knocked out pretty much in one hit,
Hmm.
as opposed to uh, a baby Pokemon like running for one hit, as opposed to running a tech card, right? Any supporter card, any other card. But there was one match where I only had Tyrogue starting. They had started with Pichu Zeraora. I surprisingly had a Sabrina in the hand, so I brought their Zeraora out front and damaged it for 40, right? Because turn one I can attack. Then
Yeah.
they attached to Zeraora and had two energy on it, so Zeraora now is down to 50 HP. It came back to my turn. I was able to. I can't remember if I top decked it or I pokeballed it, but I managed to pull a Darkrai on my second turn, so turn 3 of the game. I attached the energy to Darkrai, that put a 20 ping on the Zero Aura, and then Tyrogue knocked it out.
Yeah.
And from then on, they couldn't recover because they had wasted one, but two energies were on the Zero Aura, and they were running an Arceus deck, I think, and I still ended up almost losing to that. But because I knocked out Zero Aura so quickly with the Tyrogue, it was very hard for them to recover from that. They still managed to do a good job. I remember, I think I still struggled to beat it, but I won it, and it was because of Tyrogue, and I believe in having that Tyrogue in that deck.
Well, yeah, that is definitely like the reason to run Tyrogue when you come against electric or colorless
Eevee.
type decks. Yeah, Eevee is very good against Eevee, which is obviously running around a lot.
Yeah.
I've used Darkrai, Magby, and Silvally. I haven't tried it with Tyrogue yet, but I really struggled with it. I couldn't get a run going with it. I was really excited to use it as well because I love Silvally, obviously, and Darkrai. I thought, oh, you know what, having a Silvally out doing 100 damage and then an extra 20 ping can be really strong. But yeah, I just never seem to pull the freaking Magbies to power up my type null early, and then I'll just brick, and it just doesn't go very well for me. I don't know why. I much prefer having Oricorio in my Silvally deck to just completely wall certain decks.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to play an updated Oricorio Silvally deck, but the update in that deck, would you believe, is silver. So,
Yeah,
uh,
silver.
yeah, so couldn't play that either. Because otherwise it's just the Oricorio Silvally deck from last season. I mean, you can still play
Yeah,
it, but like when I say playing, wanting to play, I want to try out new cards, right? Like I want a deck to be slightly different.
yeah.
Uh, so like, yeah, so I couldn't play that either.
No,
Uh,
I feel like the biggest buff to that deck, which is basically all I ran last season, is the elemental switch. Like being able to move around, or elemental switch and Pichu probably, so you can get power up on the Silvally and type null super quick, or you could move around energy from your Silvally to an Oricorio, so that if there's an EX in the other spot, you can get rid of your Silvally out of the active spot, and then bang, hit with Oricorio straight away. But I have no elemental switches, so I've kind of just not been running that at all.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think I have one. I don't know if that deck runs two or not.
Yeah.
But I have the deck called. I started to name my decks because I can't build them. So I build decks I want to build so I don't forget, and then the names
Yeah.
are the cards I need. And that deck is called Need Silver. So I assume it only runs one elemental switch because I know I only have one elemental switch. So I would have named it Need Silver and Elemental Switch if I needed. Oh my god, say elemental 10
Mhm.
times fast. Holy shit. Uh, I would have named it that if I needed a second, but I don't know. Does the deck run two?
I think it runs maybe one and one Dawn because obviously Silvally benefits from the Dawn.
Right, right.
Yeah. But no. Other than that, what have I been? I've been mainly this season running Buzzwole because I haven't really played with it before. So I thought, screw it, I haven't got cards to run anything else. So I gave Buzzwole a try this season. It's been pretty good,
Yeah.
pretty fun. Still strong in the meta. I don't know if there's any new cards in this deck.
Uh,
I've got one
I
silver in there.
I think there is a new card because I tried Buzzwole with the new card. Will.
Oh yeah, yeah. I did try. I had that in my deck for a while. It just never really benefited me.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
like
don't
once or
think I
twice
don't think I
it
used.
took out an Oricorio.
To be fair, I didn't play it as much as you did. Uh,
Hmm.
but the short amount of time that I played it, so maybe 10 games, I don't think I used Will once.
Yeah. So it's just I thought Will was going to be so much more like beneficial
It is,
than it
but
is.
I just think that people are not. Again, it's a combination of power creep, right? Where the newer cards are just better, because that's how
Hmm.
most games work, right? Uh, Especially in Pokemon. I'm not gonna say most games. I don't know anything about a lot of games, but in Pokemon, the newer generations are much better because I don't know if you remember if you know this, but the older like TCG, like IRL TCG, it was like two energy for 40 damage or something. Like,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
could you imagine that? Uh, Again, I could be misquoting, but the older TCG and the newer TCG, there's so much of a difference in the power levels. So it's a combination. I think that newer is better, and also at the same time, you know how I would much rather run newer decks than older decks with new tech. I think it's a
Yeah.
combination of both, which didn't see Will become better, was because Will helped a lot of older cards, but a combination of older cards just being power crept plus people just wanting to try new stuff means that Will didn't get any use.
Yeah. I mean, there's cards in this set that benefit from it, right? Like the new Blissey promo, but I mean, even then, you don't really care that much to use it for healing 60. Um, there are, I think, cards like is it Alolan Executor that is
Yeah,
like either 0 damage or 150.
yeah,
Very much need a will in that deck. Tinkerton is pretty good with it,
yeah.
but yeah, things that like take so much energy and then you've got to use a will on top of it to actually do damage when you could have potentially you had a 50-50 shot of doing damage anyway. It's kind of hard to justify it, I think.
Yeah, if you're, I guess, if you're running coin flip, you would much rather bank on you rolling heads 50% of the time, right? Which you will in a wide range of games, rather than
Hmm.
running a card, a tech card that just specifically lets you guarantee it one extra time.
Yeah, exactly. Um, what other decks have I tried in this meta? I did a little bit of Sweet Relay. Didn't have too much success with it. Only like 3 or 4 games. I played a little bit of old Togekiss Cynthia. That was pretty fun. Did okay, but again, very small sample size. And the other deck that so I had been versing every time I came up against Macargo in ranked, I would lose. It would just beat me every time. So I was like, you know what? I talked about Macargo when the set first released, and I thought it might actually be decent. And I was pretty on point with that. It's got people to Master Ball. So I finally decided to build 16 trainer Macargo. Well, technically it's 15 trainer because you also have a Sylvally in there to thin out your deck. Um, I played 5 games with Macargo. I lost every single one. Um, it was the last one I lost, which was the last straw. I would have won
Yep.
potentially, but I put Slugma on the bench just so if I didn't hit what I needed to hit to get the 2 points, which is like an Arceus or something, and I hit something on their bench instead, I had a Slugma to fall back on,
Yep.
and I hit 150 damage on my Slugma and lost because then the next turn came around and they killed my Macargo.
Yeah. Yeah. That.
Yeah, so I stopped playing it.
Yeah. 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 Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, if people are having success with it, good for them. It's just not for me. I don't like random hits, I guess. Although I am tempted to try Rayquaza if I get a second Ho-Ho, but yeah.
So what?
Um,
Rayquaza. Wow. Whoa. Shit.
Rayquaza.
uh,
Rayquaza.
no. Ho Ho Rayquaza. Is that what we're going with? Like
It's like
charge it.
Ho-Oh, Rayquaza, a couple babies, and then something else, maybe. I don't know.
No, that might work. You know what? Maybe I should try that. I've got two Ho Hos. I've got
Yeah, you like Rayquaza?
yeah. Rayquaza is good. We got that promo one and then the other one.
Mm-hmm,
Uh,
mm-hmm.
it's not gonna be. So what? You do two, and then two babies, I reckon, and then just your end game is powering up the Rayquaza to split for 40, I think, right?
Yeah,
That might be, but I reckon Silver makes that deck better, and you know who doesn't?
true.
You know what? I can't be bothered anymore with Silver,
Yeah.
dude. uh,
Oh, poor Arcena.
yeah, the
Poor Arcena.
Silver is just. Yeah. I was thinking about Will.
And
You
then,
mentioned it, by the way.
oh yeah.
Will as a stadium makes it playable, where it's just there all the time and guarantees the first flip for anybody to be heads, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so that makes it where you give your opponent the chance to also flip heads, but you are guaranteed a head flips every time. So you're not wasting one card for one head flips. It's one card for all head flips, is how Stadium would
That
work.
sounds incredibly broken, though.
No, but it gives it to you and your opponent, how a Stadium
Yeah, but
works.
there's no guarantee your opponent's going to be running coin flips, right?
Exactly.
So if that was a card in the meta, everyone and their nan would be running Celebi, I feel like.
But no, that just guarantees you the first heads. So
Oh, the first heads. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So will, but in Stadium form.
Okay. I mean, yeah. I mean, we don't have stadiums in Pocket, and I'm not sure how they would implement it because it would have to sort of change the UI a little bit to have it on the field.
No,
I mean,
the tool
doable.
becomes tiny next to you, right?
Oh yeah.
They could put it tiny in between. I think there's a small gap in between your active and your opponent's active, and that's where it
Hmm.
can go.
Okay. All right. I'm interested to see if they do stadiums at some point.
Because there's also a lost zone in
Um,
the real TCG, and that goes somewhere to the right or left of your zone. So I don't think stadium. I think stadium
ah,
also goes. Stadium and lost zone occupy. It's been a while. I can't remember where the stadium card and the lost zone card go. The lost zone goes in real TCG. Someone can correct me on that.
I've never even heard of the Lost Zone. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's a place where you put cards. I think you put cards in it, and a Pokemon get attack more if there are more cards in it. And you
Whoa.
can't take cards back. It's like a discard pile, but different.
Oh, it's the what is it in Yu-Gi-Oh? Um, oh God, that's gonna really annoy me. The not because yeah, you've got like a graveyard in Yu-Gi-Oh, and then you've got the something area. Oh, that's I can't believe I can't think of it. I played so much Duel Links. I'm gonna have to
So
Google this, but yeah, I know what you mean.
yeah, so it's something like that. And the purpose of the lost zone is there's some cards that interact with the lost zone, depending on how many cards you have in it. Or I can't. I again, I've never played the lost zone meta in the IRL TCG, so I don't really know how it works. I just know there's something called the lost zone.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, maybe they'll implement that at some point.
yeah.
Forbidden Zone or something. Is that what it is in Yu-Gi-Oh? I don't know. Anyway, um, another
You're
card
gonna
that you're
remember after
struggling.
this episode goes live, and then you're
Oh,
gonna be like, it's in the
absolutely.
comments. You're gonna be like, it was called this. uh,
Well, yeah, let us know what it's called in the comments if you can. Another card that you're missing that is in a deck that I've been playing is good old Fampi, which you did touch on earlier.
uh,
I actually had decent luck with Big Don Fan. He did all right for me. I played a good set of games, much more than I did with the other decks. Obviously not as much as Buzzwole, but still. Yeah, I got on a couple win streaks with it, sort of floating around 1,600 points, maybe going up to 1,650 and then losing a few with it. But no, it's pretty fun with the old Lucario, with the new Hitmontop, then Cyrusing things in is pretty cool as well. Yeah, I like him.
yeah, I want to use Domfan, and I think if I again, Silver just makes the deck better. So even if I get the
Yeah.
Fan P,
Funnily enough, I'm not actually running Silver in mine.
oh, okay, that makes it a lot
Yeah, I've
better.
got Lyra, Mars, Leaf, and two professors. I don't know if I need both Leaf and Mars, but Leaf and Lyra. But there's been so many times where I'm just stuck in there because Hitmontop's got 2 retreat cost, Donphan's got 3 retreat cost, Lucario's got 2 retreat cost. It's like kind of helps quite a lot, but you could potentially get rid of one of those for something else.
Penny.
It's Penny, yeah, definitely that's the one. Looker, he's the one that you really want in here. Uh,
uh,
it's super fun. But and Fampi, the one card you're missing from it, very good against babies, obviously, because it does the 30 damage, and it can also one-shot Pichu when it's got a cape, so that helps.
Pichu has no weakness.
Never mind, it can't. It can still one-shot Pichu without a cape, so that's cool.
uh, yeah,
So yeah,
I don't think any of the babies have a weakness because then this just makes a 10 attack hit knock it out. I think that's probably the
yeah,
concept
true.
behind it.
Yeah, I forgot about that. But yeah, no, it's still cool to have Fambi knocking out those babies,
Yeah,
getting
no,
your points
I would love to
quick.
run it. Just need one more. I sneak peeked one by the way because there was two other cards I needed, an EX and something else. Ended up getting the fan
Hmm.
P. So got one, need another.
Fair dues.
Yeah.
You're nearly there. You're nearly there. I this set, man. I don't know. Is this possibly the least interesting set we've had so far? Is it the worst set?
I'm gonna say no. Mainly because I like every single card they released. Like I got excited by every single EX that was shown, and the fact that we
Hmm.
had uh endless discussions of what the EXs could be. I don't think it's bad by any means. I think it's just for us not getting two of what we wanted quickly has kind of tilted the balance in that
I don't
way.
know though. Okay, let me rephrase it. Is this the like least meta changing set we've had.
Mm-hmm. Uh, how? Okay, so in a normal set, does the newest deck go to the top of the meta? No, right?
Eevee did all right.
No, there
Then
were
we
there
got
were meta decks with cards from the set, but your EV box required Leafeon to make it work from an older set, right? So
True.
uh there's a mix and match of I think that was the only good set that came out of EV. I mean, I guess Sylveon. No, you're right.
Yeah,
I
Sylveon
guess
was hugely meta changing.
yeah, so I reckon because of how great Sylveon was, maybe you think this. Let's go back to Extra Dimensional Crisis. Did Buzzwole change
That
the
was
meta?
hugely meta changing. Yeah, definitely. Everyone was running. I still run Buzzwole. Like, it's still a great deck. And then there
Right.
was also Guzzlord, which is now a really good card. Which, by the way, I've completely changed my tune on Guzzlord. I have such bad luck when I use it myself, and every time someone uses it against me, freaking heads on the old um, grindcore every time, and I'll lose all my cards. It'll get the exact right amount of heads so that I don't have enough energy to attack. And anyway, Guzzlord was meta changing.
Just a
Pretty
little
meta
detour
changing.
there. Just a little
Yeah,
bit.
sorry. Just had to get that off my chest.
Yeah.
What else was in Extra Dimensional Crisis?
Guzzlord and Buzzwole. Other EX were Tapu Koko, Lycanroc,
Mm-hmm.
one other.
Doug Trio.
Oh, yep. How did I forget that one? Uh, and then
Valley was in that set, which is still running around.
okay, fine. Okay, let's go back to the next big set, Celestial Guardians.
Solgaleo.
Mm,
I don't know
okay,
if he's still running around. I mean, he is, but that was probably the only card. Oh, Oricorio was in that set, which again,
okay.
it's
Yeah,
pretty
I'll give it to
strong.
you. Maybe,
Incineroar.
yeah, okay. Maybe Incineroar was good, but it wasn't like it was running with
No.
Stokezard, right? Like,
Yeah, true.
oh no, wait,
I
no.
just
What am
think.
I saying? Celestial Guardians and Rare Candy that wins the whole game.
Oh my
Yeah,
god, yeah. Bro.
yeah, done. Okay, yeah.
That is
No, you know
insanely meta
what?
changing.
Yep, I agree with every set had one card that changed the meta and became a staple in a majority of decks, except for this one. We're yet to see that. Yeah,
I tell you what, I
yeah,
will give it to this set. The babies are very meta changing, but I don't know if they're quite as meta changing as Rare Candy and the other things we've mentioned. Like when I go and play ranked in this set, I feel like I see just older decks that have been slightly updated.
right. And you didn't see that before, is what you're trying to say, right?
Well, you no, what I mean. Well, in previous ranked seasons, it would be new decks plus obviously the old decks which have been updated. So you'd have Eevee box. I'd see loads of that. I'd see other cards running with Sylveon and other decks, like Giratina and Sylveon and Greninja, which is a new deck then for that set, I think, because it's got Sylveon and it's got sort of tech that's not really been explored before. Whereas this set, I see Espeon and Sylveon, and that's probably about it. Like, I mean, I've come against a few Macargos, as I said. I've seen, I have not. I feel like I've played maybe one or two Ho-Oh Lugias. I barely ever see it
Oh
in the
yeah,
meta.
Ho-Ho Lugia is dead.
Yeah,
I've seen Lugia with babies, and occasionally the Ho-Ho. But Ho-Ho's best partner is Snorlax, Darkrai, Giratina.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, it's weird. I think, I mean, I like it. I like the cards from it. There's really cool cards, but I just don't think this set has been the best.
I
I'm just gonna
mean,
put it like that. I don't
works
think it's
out,
bad.
right?
I just think
Works
it's
out.
worse, like across the whole, range of the decks or the sets we've had.
It works out because we've had the worst luck in this set. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and I guess it makes sense. I mean, I was gonna say it's what you're saying is right, and we've kind of indirectly proved it because you and me both got to Master Ball. At least me, I don't know about you. I got to Master Ball with a completely old deck, no new cards in it.
Damn.
Yeah,
I think I did as well because I just used my Sylveon or Ikorio without Elemental Switch
I
to
was
get
going to
there.
say we did it on day one where we don't have new cards, but I guess yet the other being devil's advocate here, the other way to look at it is getting the Master Ball on day 1 or day 2, as we did, with an older set is going to be difficult because many people are going to run new ones. So that proves that the meta didn't change, is what I. Yeah, because day 1 will have the most number of meta players in our ranks, right? And the fact that both of us got into Master Ball within the first couple of days with old decks shows that the meta didn't exactly change hugely.
Yeah, agreed.
But then again, day 1, many people didn't have. You can argue both ways, but I reckon we've indirectly proved it by. I think till this point, I don't think, except for Espeon and Sylveon, I don't think any of us have had much success with a newer set card. Like, yes, you've run Donphan, but just the new set card being the main. Obviously, you're going to use older sets to tech it up. What I'm saying is like the primary focus. So, for example, in a Donphan EX, obviously you run Lucario and whatever, but the main focus is a card from this set. So, yeah, I would have to. Yeah, I'm not saying it's the worst, but you're right. There's not been a singular card from this defining the meta. It's been a few cards changing older cards, but you cannot run a new set focus deck, is what I'm getting at from what you said.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I mean, you this set specifically, you're gonna struggle trying to use just the newer cards. Like, obviously, you'll still have professors and Pokeballs and stuff, but mainly newer cards.
Yeah, single. Yeah, but newer cards probably like an Oricorio from the older sets where you could run decks based around it. Rare Candy was changing, like we said. You could run Buzzwoles singly. You could run Eevee Box with Flareon, Sylveon. Like Leafeon helps.
Banished Zone. That was the thing in Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh my god, you figured it out before we ended. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. I got there.
Yeah, no, you're right. I guess it's nice in the fact that you don't have the new cards to play ranked from our perspective. It's not nice in the fact that new makes us excited, I guess. So, yeah, no, I don't agree with everything you said about this set.
Yeah, and I think with that we'll leave on a high. We've pretty much covered everything we wanted to today, I think. We're going to press on with the ranked. Keep on trying. What's your elo right now, by the way?
17 something.
Oh yeah, I'm bang on 1700, so we're sort of hovering around the same spots.
My focus is 1675, if not top 10k. I did have a couple of days where I couldn't play ranked, so I kind of fell off the fringes of top 10k and then never got back after.
Yeah.
So
do we sort of know where top 10k is right now?
Or? As of now, probably like, I don't know, but because we're recording it now, right? And it goes up maybe in a couple of hours. It could have changed by then, so I don't want to really say where it is.
Okay, fair enough.
But by the time it goes out, it could have changed.
Yeah, it's moving very quickly.
Yeah,
you just need that one solid win streak to just get like 100 points, and then just float around for a bit. Another win streak.
I did that yesterday. I think I got 110 points something yesterday.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll keep going, and we'll be back again next week for potentially a little trailer drop ?
Yeah, we've predicted trailer drops wrong in the past, so we wouldn't be surprised if next week there's just nothing. But that's generally the pattern. But again, if there's nothing, we wouldn't be surprised because we get it wrong pretty much all the time.
Yeah, exactly. So hopefully we will see you guys again then. And thank you for listening. Leave a like, drop a comment, and a sub. That would really help us out. And peace out.
See you guys. Bye.
Bye.